Hey, and welcome to the Las Vegas Open, the live lounge, and I am joined with Stephen Krakduk. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I am doing very, very
It's
well.
great to be here.
This is you said fourth LVO?
I think so. I want to say, yeah.
So, for everybody here, and thank you so much for joining us live, and we'll be taking some questions at the end as well. So think of any questions you have for Devon whatsoever, and also we're live streaming as well on YouTube. So if you've got any questions, we'll be answering those at the very, very end. But Devon,
Yes.
today we're talking about lore. We're talking about how do we get into thinking about Warhammer lore. It's such a huge, deep topic.
Yeah.
And I want to know from your perspective, how do we go into it without getting a bit lost? So from anybody that might be wondering, tell me a little bit about yourself and maybe what inspired you to create your channel and really started to get the hook stuck into you in the lore specifically.
Yeah, so I started my channel, I want to say a little over a year ago. My kind of idea was, like, I love Warhammer. I want another avenue to, like, explore my passion for Warhammer, because Warhammer's a great hobby. It's like you could build, you could paint, you could read. There's just so many different things, but I was like, I want another one. So I made a YouTube channel, and I didn't expect to go anywhere. I was just kind of silly. Basically, the elevator pitch in my own head was like, okay, it's Salmonella, but he talks about Warhammer instead of history. Because, you know, history's for nerds, but
Warhammer's definitely not for nerds, is it?
Yeah, no, Warhammer's for cool guys. Bunch of jocks and stuff. But yeah, so I was like, okay, what do I want in a Warhammer channel? And I was like, the thing with Warhammer lore is it is objectively unapproachable. Like, there's literally over, I think, 500 books. And then there's like a bunch of different factions. There's a million different characters. And so I looked at all these intro videos, because I genuinely do believe YouTube's a great way to, like, break into the hobby, like, just to get the basics of the lore until you read the books. And honestly, if it wasn't for Warhammer YouTube, I wouldn't have gotten to the hobby, because who wants to read like 500 books? Most people don't want to read one book. And so I was like, okay, I'll make like 10-ish minute videos. They're light, but they're accurate in talk. Because like another thing is everyone says like, oh, lore tubers, like, they just read the wiki, this and that. I wanted to make sure everything like was fact checked, and like it was stuff I knew at first. And I was like, okay, then I started researching more. And so I wanted to make 10-ish, 20-minute videos that are easy to get into, because, well, for a while, the #1 channel people would recommend to get into lore was either Ludin or Bricky's video on every faction. There's nothing wrong with them. I think they're both great videos and channels. But like, if someone's like, I want to get into the hobby, where should I start? And you link them a 2-hour video, I don't think that would help much. So I was like, okay, 10-minute approachable videos, and so I kind of just started making silly little videos with my drawings, because another thing, I love to doodle. That's my other hobby. I just draw things. And so I kind of combined those, and now we're here, I guess.
No, it's fantastic. I like the way that we were talking about it off camera, right? Like you wanted to make the videos that you would want to watch.
Yes,
and
yeah.
And I think as a creator, that's really like the best way. And then you'll find your audience, you'll find your people, because they also like the same thing as you, which is that style of content, which I really like. It
certainly makes it easier to like know what I want to make.
So what was the first ever video you made, and why?
The first one I made wasn't the first one I uploaded. The first one I made was a video on the No, it was 5 Warhammer misconceptions. So like, 'cause there's a bunch of lore misconceptions, and something like, I'm kind of a curmudgeon about it, but like sometimes the memes kind of irk me, because it's like it portrays like I don't just hate memes because I hate fun. I think they're funny, but it kind of portrays a skewed version of the lore, and I think the like actual lore is so fascinating that it kind of does a disservice to like boil down certain factions to like their very bare traits. So I made 5 Warhammer misconceptions where I just go through a list, and then I also made the Octarius War. That video is awful. There's only sound in one ear. The drawings look janky. But yeah, I just kind of did topics I wanted to.
I mean, I think we've all made. Any content creators made bad videos.
Oh yeah, I think that's just like an innate thing with creative people. Like, you look at your old stuff and you're like, oh, I hate this. This is disgusting. And so people will comment like, oh, I love this video, and I'm like, why?
So when you think about, you said something earlier about making sure everything was fact checked and lore accurate. Is that to keep like a respect for the lore of the game?
Yeah.
Or, and how do you go about maintaining that accuracy?
So a big thing was a lot of lore channels for a while. People would be like, don't watch any lore channel. Like if you looked up, like Googled, how do I get into Warhammer lore? You'd probably find like a post or something. It's like, oh, you should watch this channel. And there'd be 100 comments like, no, that guy sucks. He just does meme lore and this. And I was like, well, I want to make like a credible but like brief video, you know, like, so I always make sure like, because I read a lot of the books, so I know some stuff, and then like I always read the codices. I think the codices are the best thing for lore. Like they have everything you need to know really, and so almost all of my lore comes from the codices. That like, and I can find the page and like tell you where it is if like you really pressed me about it. But like I feel like, but also Warhammer lore is also somewhat inconsistent. So I try to make sure like if there is something in my video where I don't know if it's 100% real, but I'm pretty sure, I'll like put a little disclaimer. But yeah, I just want to make sure it's accurate, so I'm like respecting the lore and portraying it in the way that like is best, because like I don't want people to like go into the hobby with a different perception of it.
Yeah, I think that's as well like a really nice, honest and open way, right? If you've put a disclaimer in to go, hey guys, I would love to know more about this.
Yeah.
If you've got
I've done that before.
If you've got any sites, any references, any text I should read to, you know, take my knowledge to that next level. I think that's a really refreshing thing to do as a content creator, right?
Yeah.
So we talk about that when we do battle reports. We'll say, hey guys, what do you think?
Yeah,
You know, what
that's
would you
awesome.
do? Or you know, and if somebody points out a rule interaction that we've got wrong, because you know, obviously there's so many rules in the game, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
Maybe you know, it was a little intricate rule situation. You play it quickly, and somebody corrects you. Like, thanks for letting me know.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, you know, and having that sort of honesty. So with like so many editions of the game and like retcons, how can a new player like avoid any sort of confusion? Where would you say is like a really good place to start?
So my opinion on this is like the core lore doesn't really change in significant ways, because I always recommend, I don't know if you want me to break into this now, but like when you're getting into the hobby, I always say either watch YouTube videos or get the like core rule book, because that's the best way to get a bunch of like the basic information on each faction, and like kind of know what they're about before you go into it. Because people will recommend like a novel first. I think that's a horrible way to start. Like, yeah, you get a lot of lore, but it's really hyper focused. There's so many novels in 40K. A lot of them aren't great. And so I always recommend, and obviously I'm biased, but I'm like, yeah, go on YouTube, look up what you think is interesting, buy the core rule book, give it a little read, because it has like little summaries for every single faction. And then once you find one that you think like sticks with you, I'd say like look into it a little bit more and then buy their codex. And then once you get the codex, you read their lore and you're like, I like these guys. These are what I want to play. I really jive with their lore. Or even if you just like how they look. Then you can start buying the novels, because the novels kind of just like, I'm not saying they aren't essential. They like add fluff to it, where the codex will tell you all the basics you need to know.
So do you think like the novels give you like a context or a situation in a moment in time, don't they?
Yeah, because the codices, like almost all of them have like a timeline of like significant wars. Like I'm a guard player. Here's Armageddon. Here's Octarius. This and that. And then you could go out and like look for that book that like what happened at Armageddon. Yeah, I know it's a huge, scary battle. But, like I want to know what happened there. I want to hear about Yarick or Andre.
Or Hell's Reach, right? Because then
exactly.
There'll be those other things that are like also happening at that same time from other people's perspectives, which I think is fascinating. So for me, like when I really struggle reading. I really, you know, thinking about reading the codex is something that I don't necessarily want to do, right? Because it's just a challenge for me. But I love audiobooks.
Oh yeah, okay, perfect.
And I remember you mentioned something earlier, like people go, "Oh, read this book."
Yeah.
And I think I was playing Blood Angels at the time. Somebody said, read Fear to Tread.
I don't think I've read that one.
You have or you haven't?
I don't think I have.
So it's a heresy novel, and it's kind of like halfway through. It's not like one of the beginner books. It's maybe closer to the start than the end, but you try listening to that book, and there is so much like things that even as a long-term 40K player, I had no clue about.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, who's this character? What is a remembrancer?
Yeah.
What is this?
Well, there's a bunch of fake made-up words.
So it was only until somebody said, look, go back to book 1.
Yeah.
And although it was about Horus, and I didn't really have any interest in, CS or Chaos at the time,
Yeah.
it was actually a really good introduction because I really enjoyed listening to the Sons of Horus when they were more loyalist.
Yeah.
And then it slowly introduced me to what a remembrance was, what
Yeah.
the ships are called, whether it's Horus's ship or the Emperor's Children battleship. And that's such a big aspect of it. And after the first 5 books, in sequence, I was like, okay, now I feel like I can pick up any of them. And that was probably some of the best advice I was ever given, was just listen to the first 5 books, listen to what I was driving, painting. So is there been any sort of novels for you that you think, actually, maybe you like listen to it once a year or you read it? Is there like one you always go back to? What's your favorite?
Well, so my favorite's Fall Acadia because I'm a huge Guard fan and Acadia simp. But if I had to recommend a book for like beginners to start with, I think the best one, and it's kind of a weird, I've never heard anyone else recommend this as the first book. It's Space King by William King, or Space Wolf from William King. Like, it was a long time ago. But I think that's a great one to start because you follow young Ragnar before he's even a Space Marine. He literally knows nothing about the universe. And like, you follow him learning about 40K. So I think it's really cool, like, if you know nothing about the universe, you kind of relate to Ragnar because, like, he's learning, oh, what's a Space Marine? Wait, these things exist? What's a bolter, this and that? And there's a really great scene where he, like, has a vision, and, like, it's a vision of all the, like, threats in the galaxy. And it's so cool, and I think that'd be awesome to read as, like, a first time because you get a teaser of, like, almost every single big threat in the galaxy. And it was just, like, a really cool cinematic moment, I thought. And so I always recommend Space Wolf. I know the reason I say that novels aren't a great way to start is because one of the ones I always hear people recommending is Infinite and Divine. I don't know if you read that one.
No, I haven't, no.
Oh, well, that one's like, it has the problem you mentioned where, like, it'll drop a ton of different things on you, and it's like, it's following the Necrons, so it's inherently already kind of kooky. It's like, wait, they're what? They're skeletons, but, like,
what's
they're
a
robots.
Gauls weapon,
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And it'll just drop a bunch of things, like, it talks about the Exodites from Eldar. It's like, okay, even some Warhammer fans don't know what Exodites are.
And do you find, like, have you ever, like, dipped your toe into, like, old world lore?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Old world, Warhammer Old World.
So I don't know anything about fantasy, I'm going to be real, but I'm more of a 40K guy.
Because for me, for, like, the old world, if you said to somebody, oh, they were carrying swords and shields and flaming arrows, it's so easy, right?
Oh, I see what you mean, yeah.
To kind of understand what that is, and I think that might be sometimes the overwhelm or the confusion with 40K, or even, obviously heresy.
Yeah.
That these names that are often used, so being able to, like, break that down, I think what you said in, like, your 10-minute, really simple, easy digestible format is probably why it's been so great and such a good service, I think, for the community. So what are some of, like, misconceptions you feel like people get into when they're trying to get into the lore, or they want it to be a lore channel maybe?
So for lore, I think one misconception is, like, you have to read all the novels of, like, everything and know everything before you can, like, really talk about it. I think that's a really lame one because it's like, no, you want to talk about the thing you just read, like, I know some people are like, oh, you shouldn't discuss Warhammer lore if you don't know that much about it. If you don't know everything, don't talk to me yet. Yeah. I think that's really lame. Like, how do you learn if you don't, like, talk about it? As for
and do you think that's, like, a bit of a gatekeeping attitude?
To an extent, yeah. Like, people do have misconceptions, and it's like, but if you're like an actual person in the hobby, I think the best way to approach that is to, like, let them know, hey, that's, like, kind of a joke. Like, it's an inside joke. Like, all these memes started as inside jokes from people who have been in the hobby and they know it's a joke. And, like, you can all laugh about it, but, like, memes are just, like, super accessible. They're more accessible than anything else. Like, you see a picture, you're like, oh, I kind of get that. Yeah, these guys they're crazy super soldiers that blow up things or something, or they imagine things, But, like, you just tell them, like, hey, it's fun to know memes, but that's a meme. Like, you should read the real story because, like, it adds a lot of depth. It's really cool, this and that.
And what sort of role do you think the lore plays in, like, long-term hobby enthusiasts?
Oh, I think the lore is essential for the hobby and vice versa. The reason I got into Warhammer was because I was just so fascinated by the setting. I've never seen anything like it where it's like, yeah, there's super advanced civilization, but, like, they are regressing. They are hobbled together. Everything's breaking. They can't fix anything. It's hopeless. And plus the creative aspect, like you could create your own guys, and they would fit in this lore like pretty much perfectly as long as you knew like what not to step on. Like creating a Space Marine chapter, for example. There's so many chapters, there's so many lost chapters that the Administratum just doesn't know about, that it's like, yeah, you could create a chapter, and it could be like plausibly in the lore, and I think that's awesome because I used to love Star Wars. That was my big thing before this. You can't really do that with clones. Like, yeah, you can, but like, if I made a clone legion, it's kind of harder to like make them matter in the setting versus like, yeah, the Space Marine chapter, they fight in this fringe part of the galaxy that no one fights on, and they kill orcs for fun. And I thought that was really awesome. So I think the hobby kind of sparks the passion for you making or the lore sparks the passion for you to make your guys or paint your guys. Like, you'll read an Ultramarine book, it's like, wow, Marnius Calgar is like the coolest guy ever. And so you buy the model and you're like super excited to paint him, make him your own, because I want a Marnius Calgar. And I think that's a really awesome way to collect things over just like, and I'm not saying it's wrong to collect figures. I collect some figures. But like, I think it's a lot more fun and engaged to like really make it your own, you know?
Yeah, I completely relate. Like one of my favorite armies is Black Templars.
Oh, I love the Templars. They're so cool.
And I don't really love the lore around Helbrecht as much
you don't
as
like Helbrecht?
as much as I do is Sigismund.
Oh, Sigismund's just a cool guy.
Sigismund is like my favorite character. So what I did,
Yeah,
I
he's
wanted
the coolest
Sigismund
ever.
leading my army.
Okay.
So I took the Helbrecht model
Yeah.
and took a few extra bits and pieces from, Sword Brethren, and I got rid of the dead orc on the floor.
That's sweet.
I got him like holding his sword up like he's
Yeah.
about to face off somebody else.
Oh, that's so awesome.
I put an old man head on him for old man Sigismund. So now when I play, like, it not only inspired me to kit bash and green stuffed and sculpt and all these other things.
Yeah.
And it was, if I didn't have that appreciation for Sigismund in what he did on the table,
Yeah.
or in the battlefield,
The
I
heresy,
wouldn't want to put him onto the table so much.
That's awesome.
So now when I play, I've got the Emperor's Champion and I've got Sigismund. And
badass.
my opponents don't know this.
Uh-huh.
But what I'll do is I'll keep a kill Cali. So what I'll do is I'll just be like, yeah, I'm not going to shoot here. I'm going to charge Sigismund in because I
Yeah.
want Sigismund to get the kill.
Yeah.
And then I'm having like a little who killed the most,
Yeah.
which for me just gives me that another level of enjoyment to the game. And it's
Yeah.
because I love the lore so much around Sigismund and the Black Templars, yeah.
Well, that's another thing I love about Warhammer. Like, what other thing can you do that in, like, say you're playing a video game, and you like this character from, like, before this. You can't just port that character in. Like, you can mod it, but, like, you can't just port this character into it or make your own character. Like, Warhammer's so much freedom, and, like, when I play 10th now, my friend showed me a modified rule set, and it's like, okay, well, that's more fun. It's like, it's more fun because it's like, that's what I want to play. And my army, like, I didn't really like the Lord Solar model, so I took mine and I made him a dinosaur rider. It's like, it's cool I could do that, you know?
Yeah, it gives you that expression, right? And I think
Yeah.
that's what Games Workshop have done so well, is giving you these gaps
Yeah.
where you can have expressive freedom with the hobby, but equally there's this nice level of accuracy to what is
Yeah.
established.
Well, that's another thing. I've never seen a setting done like it, but I love how Warhammer's written with so much like vagueness, I guess, where it's like, yeah, this happened, but we don't know exactly what happened. We don't know exactly who was there. Each founding, it's like there'll always be like at least 2 or 3 like unknown chapters. Like even in the second founding, there'll be a bunch where it's like, oh, we don't really know. So you could really make your lore fit things, and I think it's fun to have like a guideline that you fit into because it gives you a writing challenge. It's like, okay, I want my guys to fit in the lore, but I also want to make them my own. So how can I do that? And I think that's a fun challenge in itself.
Yeah, and so how do you keep up with it all? Where do you, in order to
Like
stay
the lore?
Yeah, like to stay relevant or current, like what are you doing at the moment to stay, I suppose, like you said, accurate and respectful to it?
Yeah, so I usually read the codices, which honestly isn't like a feasible option for everyone because like, who's going to buy that many books every edition, you know? But it's my job, so I kind of got to. But if you can't do that, honestly, and you don't want to buy new books, because like, who can expect someone to read that many books? Like, there are really so many now. I would honestly recommend the wiki. I know that's a bit taboo to say. Don't go to Warhammer wiki. That one's bad. But like Lexiconum, they take excerpts like literally directly from the codex and they cite them. So like, if you're in a pinch where like you can't buy a $60 book multiple times every year, like, maybe just do that. If they don't really change that much. Like I collect guard codices, and between editions, I notice like they change maybe like or add like maybe 10%, and they'll use the same excerpts.
And how do you feel when the lore changes, or certain characters are removed, or?
So it kind of depends, but like 9th edition, I say is the worst thing that happened to the guard because they literally killed all of our characters, or like they just disappeared. I'm still kind of irked about Yarick.
Were they written off, or just sort of missed out? But not.
Yarick was. Everyone else was kind of just like Pask is gone. Harker's gone in 10th. Iron Hand Dragon's kind of gone in 10th. I'm sure they'll probably bring him back, but like Yarick literally got one page like saying, "Yeah, he's dead now," and I was like, "Oh, come on, he could have did something cool."
What would you have preferred? Them staying like, with obviously because I suppose they're humans, right? They can only.
Yeah, exactly.
Unfortunately, it can only stay so
plus
long.
on like a meta level, like obviously they want to get rid of the like horrible Finecast model. Like I like how the model looks, but Finecast is like they don't want the Finecast because I'm a huge lover of like the old models, the old lore, all that stuff. For whatever reason, that just clicks with me. But I would honestly rather him just like, again, but going back to the vagueness, I would kind of rather have them say like, yeah, we don't know where Yarick is, but there are rumors of a guy with like a burning eye, killing orcs or something, because it's like, yeah, you could say like, oh yeah, he died of old age, or you could like headcanon like, oh yeah, he's out there kicking ass somewhere,
Yeah, it just kind of gives that open space, right?
Yeah, I think that's like I don't think everything should be open. It's not satisfying if every single thing's a loose end, but like some things like I think they kind of deserve more fanfare than just like, yeah, he's dead now.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that a lot.
Or at least if he just got like, I don't know, ripped in half by Gazkul, that would have been kind of cool.
Yeah, a good finish, right?
Yeah, just get machine gunned by the quad machine gun you got.
So for me, what I really want to know.
Yeah.
I'm going to go a little bit deeper than lore now. What's been one of your most happiest or most exciting moments in your hobby experience?
Probably killing my friend Arthur's little Burry Anderson with my pistol. There he is. No, but
to it still hurt Arthur. Yeah.
I peeked 2 days ago. No, he had a revive mechanic on a 2-up. He rolled a 1.
Wow, the shade, eh? Rubbing salt in the wound now. Can you believe it?
No, but a serious answer for hobby or like just in general for Warhammer.
Just in general, what's been like one of your favorite moments in your hobby career?
I think one of them has to be when I realized my YouTube channel was kind of going somewhere. Because I was kind of in a rough place, like I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I always wanted to have a creative job, because like I'm just kind of a creative guy, and I'm like, I can't imagine myself doing something for a living if it's not like me creating something. So once my YouTube channel started picking up, I was like, this could really work, and this is gonna be awesome if I can like draw and talk about the thing I love for a living. And my channel honestly like grew really fast, and I was like really like. It was just like an amazing moment.
Oh, you've done exceptional.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
You said you started it a year ago, and you've just hit 250,000 subscribers.
Yeah, it's honestly insane. Like, and also just seeing comments of people who like were in a similar place to me, where they're like, "Oh, your videos like helped me out with like I'm having a rough time. Your videos helped me out in that small way." That's just so awesome for me to read. Read.
Well, what I love about what you do is accessible videos that help people that are trying to get into the hobby. Feel like they can communicate with others without feeling like they're an outsider, right? Because even if you can share a story of, oh, I've just read this book, or I just listened to this video and I thought it was really cool when, a howling banshee got turned into the avatar, and it was in this novel called Jane Czar, and whatever that might be, it just, oh yeah, I read that book.
No, there's so Warhammer's literally just a setting of cool things happening.
It connects people, right?
Yeah, and I really wanted to help people get into the hobby, because everyone's an outsider until you're not, So I really wanted to help people get into the hobby that like really like I love this hobby, like every single aspect. I love painting, I love writing the lore, like my homebrew lore. I love reading it. So I want to like show people how to get into it. So many people, I was intimidated by it. I knew about Warhammer probably about 5 or 10 years before I even got into it. But I was like, oh, that's that nerd game that like is impossible to get into because it cost $1 million. And I'm like, so I never got into it until like recently, because it was during the pandemic, and I was like, I'm so bored. I need something to do. I'm like, oh, I could paint these little action figures? That's awesome. And so I wanted to help people like realize how awesome it is. because like Warhammer, it's the coolest thing ever.
So I can imagine it's had a pretty big impact on your life, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. It's mushy to say, but it did change my life. Like, it objectively just changed my life, like, completely. I was going to school to be a therapist or something, and I was like, I hate this.
Did you ever think when you were younger you would do what you do now?
I wanted to, but I didn't think it would be possible. Well, when I was younger, I was like, oh, I want to be an artist. I want to be an artist, like a painter. And I was thinking of, like, Vincent van Gogh or something. And then later on, I was like, art makes no money. And then, so I kind of gave up on that, and I was like, yeah, I'll do something feasible. It's like, because you don't have to make your passion your job. I don't think you do. But if you can, it's really awesome, I think, you know? And so I was super happy that I was able to do it. Because I always joke, because I kind of had a miserable time in college, to be honest. And I was like, I'm just going to drop out and do YouTube as a joke to my friends. And then I made one video, and like, I made a few videos, and they kind of started taking off. I was like, well, maybe I can make that joke real, you know? And that'd be a lot more fun than studying.
At what point did that happen? Did you feel like, actually, this is something that I can pursue, like financially, resource-wise? What was like, because there might be people, you know, listening back home or sat in the audience that are thinking about becoming a creator.
Yeah.
What was the turning point for you?
So I'm always really like anxious and worried about like just things just falling apart or something. So it was actually pretty recently that I decided to like drop off and like focus on this full time. But like once I hit 100K, I was like, you know what? This could definitely work. Like people like my stuff. I get like awesome comments. People are always like, hey, you helped me get into the hobby, and I'm like, that's awesome. Like that's what I want to do. I want to be able to make creative things forever, you know.
And I know it's obviously one of those things, right? You've got, the more you get in terms of subscribers and followers, and the more momentum you have, equally it takes up more of your time.
Oh yeah, oh no, my videos take like 10 times longer. You can look at my like first video, like compare the drawings I did to the new ones, and it's like, these take like hours to do one drawing. Like the characters just take me way longer because I'm kind of a perfectionist, and it's like, it's to a toxic degree almost, because I'm like, I want this video to be something I'm proud of. So I'll delegate for like, I literally post my videos like 1 hour before they're supposed to go. And I'm like, I'm cutting it close. And every week it feels like it's getting closer and closer. So I'm like, I gotta like cut back a bit.
I think that's all content creators, don't worry.
Yeah, I think that's just a creative thing. Like when you're creative, like you obviously wanna, like if it's your passion, you want it to be the absolute best representation you could physically manage. And so like, I hold myself up to that degree, and I'm like, I need to like it doesn't have to be perfect, you know.
Was there like a certain, you know, the elephant in the room is revenue, right? You can't just live for free. And
oh yeah, no, of course.
Obviously, it gets to a point where you feel like, actually, this might be sustainable for me not to get another job.
Yeah, once I started getting like, well, sponsorships are the most consistent way to do it. And I know everyone hates sponsorships, and like, I used to feel bad putting them in, but then I was like, well, you know, if it weren't for sponsorships, I wouldn't be able to do it. So it's like, I make these videos that people seem to enjoy, and it's like, I need to do this, unfortunately. And a lot of the products I get, I don't think they're bad products. A lot of people say, like, YouTubers just push anything they'll get, and I'm like, well, I try to make sure mine are, I can't speak for everybody, but that definitely helped because it added stability. I think one of the scariest things about YouTube is that instability. Like, it can literally just swing every month. Like, you don't really know how much. Like, I could get a rough estimate. I always said I would do it for a year, and then I'll see how it is there before I make any big decisions, just because I wanted to see if it was steady and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, and a huge appreciation from me anyway is obviously, as a creator, things like super chats, donations.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Whether you've got a Patreon, memberships, all that stuff is, you know, we can be so grateful for.
Yeah.
But it is the sponsors, and there's some amazing vendors here at LVO that I'm really lucky to be sponsored by.
Oh yeah, of course.
And without them, your content doesn't stay going.
Yeah, to a degree, yeah.
So I think, like you said, sometimes people can be a bit negative about them, can't they?
Yeah, and I understand why. Like, who wants to listen to an ad in the middle of the video? But like, that's why I love getting sponsored by like hobby-related things. Because like, one, I think they're cool to have. But also it's relevant to my videos. There's some I just like outright turn down because I'm like, that's not relevant at all. That's just gonna like, it doesn't make sense to be in my video.
I always think as long as they're like, number one, hobby adjacent.
Yeah.
If they're not even directly in the hobby, but hobby adjacent. And then also something that I would either buy.
Yeah.
and not regret spending my money on.
Yep.
And if I don't regret buying it, then I
Yeah.
can naturally go, hey, this is a good product.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that's my methodology on it anyway.
That's a good frame. That's a good frame to do it by. But yeah, as I know you wanted to mention like people trying to break into YouTube. I think a big thing to know is like, it's not like a lot of people joke like, oh, it's the hardest job ever. You know, like I know the streamer thing was a thing a while. Like, oh, it was so hard to be a streamer. And I'm not saying it's the hardest job ever, but like it does take a lot of passion. I'm sure you can relate. Like, you have to be passionate about this in order to like even have the energy to like put something out there every week or so. I don't know how often you upload, but like I upload every week, and I'm like, if I wasn't passionate about the hobby, I wouldn't make a video every week.
Yeah.
It's like a big undertaking.
Or even what you're doing now, right? This is, you said to me earlier, you've never done this before.
Yeah.
This is a new experience.
I know, it's awesome. I like being here.
I woke up this morning really nervous.
Oh yeah, me too. No, my legs were shaking. I was like, oh shoot.
I was thinking, are the cameras going to work? Is the audio going to be fine?
Yeah.
Is the stream going to be like good? And all those things, are my guests going to be happy? And I think you want to put out, because we love the hobby so much.
Yeah.
And we genuinely love the community. We want to give the best we always can.
Yeah.
In the fact that we're both nervous, I think is really good. It shows you care.
When you love something and you're passionate about it, of course you want to like portray it in the best way possible. It's like when you have a big channel, it's like, yeah, well, if I just lie or say something dumb, like that could just like become ingrained in like a lot of people's like heads. Like if I made, for example, a guard video and I like half-assed it, I kind of just like made up some stuff. A lot of people, that will be their first exposure to guard. They'll think like, oh, this is what guard is. They're kind of dumb, and then they'll tell all their friends like they're kind of dumb, and then people think, oh, guard's dumb. Like one thing is I like the Black Legion. A lot of people don't like the Black Legion, but I think they're cool. I think the memes kind of hurt them. So I think inaccurately portraying things or like not like doing the best you can kind of like hurts a cool thing. Like a lot of people just don't know that Black Legion have some cool stories,
Yeah, I think it certainly happens in gaming, right? There's like rivalries or factions that are particularly powerful in a moment in time, and they get a bit of a bad reputation.
Yeah.
But the more, and as long as it's obvious that is a joke, it's having a healthy appreciation and respect, because we live in an ecosystem where all these races need to survive in order for us to have deep, meaningful lore, incredible hobby models to paint, and also a really diverse game. So,
well, it's always fun to say like, oh, your guys suck and my guys are awesome. I'm not saying don't do that. Tell your friends like, oh yeah, orcs suck, Eldar suck. Yeah. Everyone but the guard, bad.
Yeah. So if there was like a moment where the lore made you really feel connected to Warhammer or the community, what would be like a significant, I know you mentioned about Ragnar.
Yeah.
Would you say that's the one, or do you any other moments you felt like actually this piece of lore really connected me to the community?
Like the community, or had me have like an emotional connection to like the lore?
Either really, I suppose, yeah.
I would have probably two different answers. For the like one that like got me like really invested in is like, wow, that's actually like a pretty touching thing. Is like Hell's Reach with Grimaldus. Like he's learned to be human, because like he's human, yeah, but he's a freaking psycho freak, he has all these evil augments and stuff. Space Marines are barely human usually, and that's why I love the Space Wolves so much, because like they retain their humanity even though they are like the Emperor's greatest warriors,
And in the Hell's Reach, right, you've got with the and please correct me if I'm wrong here, but the salamanders were like, no, we're not going to pursue them.
Yeah, and then they were like, no, we gotta. It's like,
and you could see this like desire in hatred for the orcs, right?
Yeah.
But then being held back, they felt. But then they couldn't understand why the salamanders.
Yeah, that's another fascinating thing. It's like it is kind of a moral conundrum. It's like, well, yeah, if we save these people now, the orcs might just like literally kill everyone else. So it's like, what do you do in the work? Because that's another fascinating thing with the hobby. It's like, this is the most brutal, bloody regime ever, blah, blah, blah. And the question of like, is this actually the only way forward? I think that's really fascinating. Like, do they actually have to be horrible and evil in order to survive? Is there a chance that they could like do better, but they're held back by the fear that if we try to reform, we will just get destroyed by demons? And so it's so fascinating that like they literally can't like be better because they're scared of like literally dying. They can never get better. They can never reform society, be like not a horrible place. And I think that's just so fascinating, like that question and that worry, like, will it get better in this setting?
So I got when do you turn to either reading the lore? You know, for me, it's listening.
Oh, I listen to a bunch of audiobooks. It's just I can't retain the information that well.
So well, yeah. Is there like a particular way you feel when you think, yeah, I'm going to listen to a book now, or I'm going to read something? And how does it make you feel after?
I kind of just read whenever I want to. Sometimes for like a video, I'll be like, I should read like this book for more context, because like sometimes the codex doesn't go far enough as far as I would want to go to portray it. So I'm like for example, my Gene Stealer cult video that I'm working on, I read Ascension Day because like I heard that's like the Gene Stealer cult, and that book is awesome. It's like I've never read a book from either the Mechanicus or the Gene Stealer's perspective, and like both of them are really fascinating, like offshoots of humanity in a way, because like they're both humans, but like they went radically different ways, but they have some superficial similarities. So like seeing the contrast of that and like them having conflict and coming into conflict over those conflicting ideologies, I thought that was interesting. But yeah, I think you shouldn't really force yourself to read. That's always been my thing. I'm like, because I used to love reading, and then there's a period where I was like, I hate reading because like school like was like, read this book, read this book, read this book. You need to read this book, and I'm like, it's not fun if you're forcing yourself to do it. Like you have to be in the mood.
Yeah, I mean, I've started reading books before.
Yeah.
Or started listening to a book, and I feel I'm not jamming with it.
Yeah, yeah.
So I just leave it.
Yeah.
I don't worry that I need to try and push my way through it.
Yeah, yeah.
I would rather take the loss of a credit on Audible.
Yeah.
And actually just listen to something where I do really start to get into it, because like I think I said it with Phil earlier, who we were talking about the hobby. As soon as it feels like a chore,
yeah, exactly,
it's not enjoyable. And for me, the lore is a time when I can, if I'm feeling like I've got a really busy mind or I can't really focus on things, go for a drive, put on audiobook, or sit and paint a mini.
Yeah.
And I'll always normally listen to the model that I'm, like if I'm painting Black Templars,
exactly.
Hell's Reach, or something along those lines.
Oh yeah, it gets you in the mood. You're like, yeah, hell yeah, I want to paint these.
100%.
But yeah, I think it's a hobby. You're supposed to have fun with it. Like when you force yourself to do it, that's when you get burnout. That's when you're like, you have a bunch of unpainted models. Like I've been in the hobby for, I'm relatively new. I think I've been in it for 5 years because I got into 2020. I still don't have a fully painted guard force. Like half of my guardsmen are unpainted. Like I have enough to make a list, but it's like I wish they were more painted, because I pick any model I think is cool and I paint that. Because it's like, well, it's a hobby. I want to enjoy it like in the way I want to enjoy it. And painting is my most favorite thing in the hobby. So I'm like, if I see a cool model I want to paint, I'll paint that. And the books kind of help with that, and then sometimes the models help with that. Like if they release a really cool model, like you kind of want to read the book. It's like, who's this guy? Or I know Space Marine 2. Space Marine 2 was awesome for getting people into it, because I don't know if I'm allowed to spoil it. I don't know if you played it.
You carry on.
Okay, well, yeah. Well, there's a scene where Marnius Calgar comes. He's so cool, and like I know a ton of people who are like, who is that guy? I want that model. That guy's the coolest dude ever. He jumps out of a friggin' airplane and shoots a bunch of bugs. Like it's friggin' awesome. Or not bugs. It was demons by that point. But like it was awesome, you know. And so I think that's why, again, we're looping back. The hobby and the lore, they're intertwined, and I don't think you can't fully enjoy the hobby if you just completely neglect one or the other. You know?
Yeah, and I think what a lot of people forget, even like top gamers, they don't really appreciate necessarily the lore as much as they could.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think they miss an opportunity to improve themselves as a player.
Yeah.
Because what they're not understanding is that the game is written in a way that is there to express the lore, but on the tabletop.
Yeah, for sure.
So when you've got an army and it's necessary, like let's say a combat army, and you really lean into the lore in those characters, and you'll find yourself improving as a player because you understand the way they fight.
Yeah, plus
and the lore can really help with that.
It's more fun to play if you have guys you like. Like my favorite thing in 40K is Kazarkin. No matter the list, I always bring them. Like even if it doesn't make sense, but that's another thing. A lot of people, I've seen people say like in terms of fluffy rules. That's one of my issues with 10th is like they're kind of straying away from like making cool fluffy rules in favor of like more streamlined gameplay and competitiveness, which I understand why they do it. Like you want a balanced game, but like it was kind of fun back then when you could like throw a freaking like you could equip them with anything as long as you pay the points. You could do whatever you wanted. And then
Well,
I
that,
see
that for me is like I think to make it more accessible.
Yeah.
But I preferred it like you said.
Yeah. No,
So
I
even
understand
as
the
a-
accessibility thing, I totally
Even as
get
a
that.
highly competitive player,
Yeah.
I would rather be able to pay the points for a heavy bolter.
I was worried I was going to ruffle your feathers with
No,
that.
no, no,
thinking
not
you
at
would
all.
come over here and kick me.
Not at all. For me, that's exactly. I understand why they did it.
No, I
in order
totally get it.
to help somebody completely new
Yeah.
understand that. Hey, look, there's just these 6 stratagems.
Yeah.
I preferred it when there was 20
Yeah.
because I knew which one I could use at the right time.
Yep.
And I preferred it when I could go, do I want heavy bolters for this job or las cannons? And I'll
Yeah.
pay the points appropriately.
I'm still mad I can't take plasma pistols on my Cadians. Those
There
are
we
my favorite
go.
gun.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ah. But
So
yeah,
it's like a somewhat necessary evil, maybe. I don't know, in order to
Maybe.
bring more people into the hobby to
Yeah.
enjoy it. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that. I thought you meant getting rid of plasma pistols. I was like, I don't
Yeah.
know. I like plasma pistols. Yeah.
No, we've got to keep the plasma pistol. So you said this is your 4th time here at the LVO.
I believe so. Yes.
What does LVO mean to you? Like, why should somebody come?
Well, I just think it's cool to see like so many people coming together to like enjoy the hobby. Like LV was my first convention like ever, I think. Because like for a while I was kind of shy. I was like, yeah, I don't know if I don't want to talk to that many people. I don't want to like do that. But then I really found a great community because I would always buy the hobby lounge pass. I don't know if you're familiar, but it's like a painting room. I would just paint my minis at the lounge. I was like, that's kind of dumb. Why would you paint your minis there when I can paint it at home? But like just talking to people about like their hobby, like what they're painting, what they're passionate about. I was like, that's really awesome. And then it got even more fun when my friends started coming. Like I met a bunch of people and I was like, yeah, let's go to all the conventions. We go to Adepticon, LVO. I think we're planning to go to Gen Con. I don't know. But like it's so fun and like just being able to like cut loose and like get immersed in the hobby. Like everywhere you look, it's Warhammer, mini war game, this and that. It's like it's really cool.
Well, honestly, it's been amazing to have you here.
Thank you.
But I think it's time to get some questions from.
I was promised 3 hours up there earlier.
Oh no, sorry,
No,
that's
just
my
kidding.
bad. That was my typo. There was a
need 3
worse typo
hours.
up there at one point, and luckily somebody pointed it out very quickly. I may have
I was
spelled.
like, I better buy a water and a breath mint. I don't want to.
I may have spelt Vegas wrong for a little bit, but and it turns out that's a different word altogether.
Yeah.
So anyway, James, you ready?
Ready?
Okay, Amy, if we've got any questions from the live chat, they can start putting them in now.
No, just everybody's just amazed that he's actually real.
Just amazed he's here.
He's
I'm
real.
sorry, what was that?
Yeah.
He's
Well, it's
real,
your first
not
time you've shown your
cartoon.
face, right?
Oh yeah. This is my face. I hope
Yeah.
it's satisfying for everyone. I hope I'm not too ugly.
we attempted to put you in the mask, weren't we?
Yeah, I should have worn my Kazarkin helmet. I have one of those. They're cool.
So if you are watching back live, then obviously get your questions in. We can get those in a minute. But yeah, any questions from the audience?
Yeah. Right here.
Yep. Hey, Devin, awesome content. First of all, myself and my 10-year-old love watching your stuff. I need 3 book recommendations, one for Custodes, one for Space Marines, and one for Tyranids, and it can't include Gene Stealer cults.
Oh, it can't be what?
Can't include Gene Stealer cults for the Tyranids.
I'm sorry, I can't hear.
Did you say a Custodes book?
Custodes,
Yeah, I heard Custodians,
Space Marines?
and then
Tyranids, but it can't be Gene Stealer cults. So no Gene Stealer
Oh,
cults.
that's the best one. Probably Devastation of Ball, but that's kind of a cop-out for Tyranids. But I think that one is actually really cool and like has some heartfelt moments, surprisingly. I don't want to spoil it, obviously, but like the ending's really cool, I think. For Custodes, honestly, I'm gonna be real. I don't really like the Custodes, so I don't read their books.
Wow.
I'm sorry if I made anyone mad. Yeah, feel free to kill me. I'm sorry, but for Space Marine, I would probably say Space Wolf. I love that one. I'm trying to think of any other ones that I might like really recommend. Does Fall Acadia count? There's a lot of Space Marines in that. That's my favorite book. But also, thanks for watching my stuff. I think I heard you right. Watch it with your family. That's awesome. Any other cool questions?
Any other questions?
An inquisitive bunch.
All right. Hold it nice and close.
Gotcha. Okay, so I got into the hobby when your videos just came out, and I
awesome.
conveniently got your first video when I got into the hobby. So, thank you.
That's awesome, man. I love to hear that.
Just I got into Warhammer from the old world.
Uh-huh.
I'm just curious on like, what is there anything driving you away from old world, or is it just you just prefer?
Oh no,
40K?
nothing against the old world. I think honestly the thing is that I can't pick a faction, and if I don't have someone to paint, it's hard for me to get like super invested. There's so many factions that I think are like cool, really cool, but like not one that sticks out to me where it's like that's my guy. Like once I really learned about Guard, I was like, that's my guy. Also though, I've never been really like a huge fantasy guy, more of a sci-fi guy. But I do want to get into old world eventually. Once I pick someone.
All right, we got another question over here. Hold it nice and close.
Hey, love your content.
Thanks.
We watch all of your lore videos whenever they drop.
Awesome.
Are you gonna make a video on the Imperial Fists?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do a video on every Space Marine chapter, like the prominent ones at least. I just can't promise when, because it's kind of a. I'm sure most creators will know this. Like, it's kind of a fine line. Like, how often do I make Space Marine things? There's just so much more Space Marine stuff, and it's like I don't want my channel to be like shoehorned into a Space Marine channel. I want to like give everyone a fair shake because like a lot of factions are really cool. But I do want to make an Imperial Fist. Recently, I'll be honest, I used to think they're dumb. But recently, I was like, I didn't respect their game. They're really cool. Rogel Dorn is awesome.
One more here. Yeah. Nice and close.
Hey, so I just had a main question because what's kept me a lot into a lot of the lore in the game is specific characters sticking throughout a lot of the lore a lot of the time. Is there a specific character?
I'm sorry, I don't hear you really well.
Hold on, a little closer. Can you hear that now?
Yeah.
So specific characters really are what keeps me into the hobby a whole lot. So is there a specific character throughout the entirety of like just the history of Warhammer that's really kept you interested?
So I kind of have I'm not super into the characters as much as I am into setting. I've always been like, I love the stories of like the normal guy, but there are some characters like Yarick, for example. I love Yarick. I love Creed. I love Sly Marble, but he's hardly a character. I think he's a cool guy. I actually really like Ragnar. A lot of people don't like Space Wolves, but Ragnar's really awesome. Oh, we got some Space Wolf fans here. Hell yeah. All right. But yeah, I was never like super gripped into the setting for the characters. I think I'm more into it for the setting. Oh, you know who I do like is Gilliman. I say this a lot, but I'm against Primarchs coming back. I don't know how everyone else feels, but I think it's
Just Sanguinius needs to come back.
No.
I'm gonna weigh in here. No.
Yep. I said I would get out of the hobby if Sanguinius came back.
Did you hear that, George?
I quit.
Jordan, Sanguinius apparently if he comes back he's quitting.
I'm quitting. Yeah. I'm done.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Robuda Gilliman, like when he was the only Primarch, I thought he was so fascinating because it's like he's a god back living in his worst nightmare. Pretty hopeless to fix anything. I think that really adds to the grim darkness of it. Like, because 40K also another thing with the silliness is a grim dark like aspect. And like, how grim is it that like you are a superhuman person who can do almost anything. You wake up in your worst nightmare and you can't do anything. You're all alone. Everyone you like is dead or gone. There's a bunch of weirdos who are crazy. And it's like, I don't know what to do. That's why I kind of don't like Primarchs coming back, but they have cool models, so whatever.
Do you think sometimes the law's like a metaphor for how we can sometimes feel in life as well?
Yeah, kind of. I actually, my take on the heresy is like it really is like a story of like coming to terms with like human struggles. Like the Emperor is a man who wanted to become God, but he couldn't in a way. Like he overtly said like I don't want to be a god, but like what he was trying to do is he's trying to become a god. And because of his human flaws, he couldn't. That's at least my take on it. Like, I'm not saying I'm the end-all, be-all. That's not the only interpretation. But I think when you look at through that lens, it is really fascinating because, like, the fact that he couldn't kill his son and that's what got him interred into the Golden Throne, like, that's such a human thing. Like, could you kill your son if it was the thing you needed to do? And, like, so I think that 40K as an allegory of, like, just the human struggle and, like, us succumbing to the worst aspects of humanity is still cool. And that's kind of why I really love Guard. They're like, they are the humans in the setting. And like, sometimes like legitimately heroic things do peep through from like the thing. Like I always say there's no good faction. Like all factions are morally bad in the 40K, but like there's good people, if that makes sense. And some people say that like hurts the grim darkness, but I think that adds to it because it's like well, yeah, if everyone was an evil jerk and like bad things happen to them, it's harder to care because it's like, well, good. I'm glad these guys have a horrible life.
Well, as well, it helps us individually all connect to something, right?
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
my favorite character is Sigismund, as I said.
Yeah.
So sometimes I,
He's
you
a
know,
superhuman character, like
Yeah.
for being a space marine.
for me, like my background was bodybuilding, so
Yeah.
seeing
Oh,
somebody
awesome.
extremely disciplined and focused
Yeah.
is somebody that those personality traits I also try to represent, right? So
Sigmund's awesome. I love him.
In having those connections, I think the characters is really key. So
Yeah.
seeing those good traits in them, I think really
Yeah,
is,
for sure.
is such a nice part of the lore, really.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Any more questions, guys?
Hi, will you be making more Sisters of Battle videos in the future?
Oh, did you say I'm going to make more Sisters of Battle videos? Yeah, I'll probably make them. I kind of try to represent every faction roughly equally. I obviously make more Space Marine videos than anything and Guard, but I actually do really like the Sisters. I think my next one would probably be like either the Ecclesiarchy or like Sister of Battle units, because they have a lot of kick-ass units. Like I think the Seraphim are one of my favorite things ever. Like just the fact their jetpacks are angel wings and they have like 2 pistols or a sword just going crazy. I think that's awesome.
Is it Euphrates Keeler in the Heresy?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Is it Euphrates Keeler? Is that right, in the Heresy? I always thought when I was reading the Heresy books that she would become Saint Celestine. I would love to know her origin story. I've never read it.
Oh, Euphrates Healer?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, in a way she was the first sister. Like, she literally banished something with, like, literally just faith, which is really awesome.
I thought she was going to become Saint Celestine.
That would kind of interesting. But I really like the fact that Saint Celestine really is just, like, a random sister who just, like, for whatever reason, be it faith or, like, sheer luck, like, she just did become, like, an insano. Like, Celestine's one of my favorite characters, too, actually, now that I think about it. She's really crazy. I should make a video on her, just her. I don't know if
I'd listen to that. Yeah, it'd be good.
That'd be cool, yeah. Sorry, I just didn't hear you saying Keeler. I was like, wait.
I might have pronounced
my
it
mind's
wrong.
blanking. No, I think you pronounced it right. Warhammer 40K names just like blend in my head. Sometimes they're just dumb.
Any questions from the live chat quickly? We'll come back here as well. Yeah. Any questions from the James? Live chat questions quickly.
Live chat, just the same, like, amazed that you're not a cartoon character.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. No, it is genuinely heartwarming, not to be like all mushy-gushy, but like when people say, I like your content, and it helped me get into it. It always makes me happy.
So Chris down the front here.
All right, so one of my favorite lines in the books is when Bjorn tells the Inquisitors and the Grey Knights, calling him a god is what got us in this mess in the first place.
I love that.
Is there a line in any of the novels or anything that's really stood out to you over the years?
One recently that's like still fresh in my head was it's with Sigismund. It's when Sigismund's fighting Fulgrim, and Fulgrim's like he's gonna kick Sigismund's ass even though he's like the best guy ever. And then Dorn walks in, he's like, excuse me, brother, Sigismund's bravery sometimes outweighs his like skill or something, but mine doesn't. I'm like, oh my God, Dorn's so cool. Shoot, he's the coolest guy ever. I did not respect him enough because I did a lot of research on the Imperial Fist, like just by proxy, because I was doing Black Templars and like obviously their history steeped in the Imperial Fist. But that's another one I love. It was Bjorn who said that, right? I love Bjorn. He's so cool. Even when he said a lot of cool things in that interaction when he like had what's his face? What was the Inquisitors? Kuznetsov or something? And then he made like Annika literally just like collapse. I thought that was like really awesome and like awe-inspiring. And actually Hyperion's line in that where he's like, you don't know who this guy is. Dude, if this is who I think it is, we're screwed. I thought that was really funny. Because actually my next video is Months of Shame. Fun fact. Fun little teaser for everyone watching. But yeah, I'm trying to think of any other cool lines.
One of my favorites was when Sigismund walks off into like a whole legion, I think it is. And they go, what's he doing? He's going to die. And I can't remember the quote exactly, but it goes something along the lines of, but he's never lost a one-on-one challenge. And he just sees it as 100 one-on-one challenges. So,
I love Sigismund. He's so cool. Oh, another quote. It was said about Yarick. It was like a fire shines from his face and he steals strength from death. I think that just goes so hard. Yarick's just a really cool guy.
Any more questions? Oh, we've got loads of questions at the
Oh,
back.
now we're really rolling.
We're getting spicy
We
now.
got the snowball going.
This good? This good?
Oh, yes, it is.
All right.
Sorry, my ears are bad, I guess.
First off, thank you for your content. It's great to put on while I'm painting.
Thanks a lot.
If you had the ability to retcon one thing in the entirety of the lore, what would that be?
If I had to do what to one thing?
If you had the ability to retcon any one thing in the lore,
Retcon something.
what would you do?
I'll have to think on this, actually. My joke answer whenever people say this is I would make the Emperor's gene seed impotent so that Grey Knights didn't exist. Because I really hate the Grey Knights. But let me think of like a serious one, because even though I don't like them, I like their existence. Like they're a cool concept and look really kick-ass. I don't know. When it comes to questions like this, I don't want to act like I'm like better than the writers, because like that's not my expertise. But maybe I would retcon the way Yorick was. Well, it's not even definitive how he died. So I don't know. It's hard to say. Do you have any ideas?
Garrow was a pretty cool Grey Knight, wasn't he? Was he like
he was cool.
Was he like the first one, would you say?
He was the first one, right? It was Garo, and then like a 1,000 Sun Sorcerer, right? He was cool. No, the Grey Knights are cool. It's just that I don't know. Sometimes their lore's just written kind of dumb, and I'm like, they're so edgy. Like, I know people say Warhammer's the edgy faction, but like, I like edginess. I think it's cool, but like sometimes they go over the top, and I'm like. Plus, I'm a Space Wolf fan, so like I kind of have to hate them. They killed my wolves and they killed my guardsmen. Screw them. I'm sorry for all the Grey Knight fans. I don't know what I would retcon. I guess I'll go with the Grey Knight thing. I have to.
Yeah, fair enough. Any last
other-
questions? We got one at the front.
Yep. Okay. I suppose. How do you feel about the Terminus decree?
I think that's kind of dumb. I think that goes back to what we were saying earlier with like the vagueness and mystery. I think it was so much more fun when the Terminus decree was just something like that existed, but we didn't know, and like in a way, like the Grey Knights don't even know. So it's like we're playing along with them, and it always goes back to I think mystery in a setting is essential. I think it adds intrigue. It encourages discussion. That's why when people are like, I want to know what the 2nd and 11th Primarch are, it's like, well, no, I think it's really fun and fascinating that like Warhammer is a setting that just lets some things be unanswered. It encourages discussion. It helps you it even helps you homebrew. Like you could homebrew a Primarch presumably if you really wanted to and you're like really dedicated. And then things like the War in Heaven, I think that's really interesting as like a biblical tale from like a long time ago. Like a bunch of crazy bad things happen, and now we're here. Sometimes I even say I wish the Horus Heresy wasn't explored so in depth. Like I'm glad it was now. Like in retrospect, because like we got a lot of cool, awesome moments. We got a lot of cool characters, but like in a way, the mystique of like just this biblical event that happened with like the gods and like they fought each other, the fallen, this and that. And like we don't exactly know what happened, but like we're fighting for something we don't know anything about. Like they're fighting for the God Emperor. Like the Emperor would hate that. I think that's a really interesting thing.
Yeah, I watched the That'd be cool, wouldn't it? At some point, maybe.
Yeah.
Listen to I suppose the ending, right? That the final battle between Emperor Horus.
Yeah.
Sanguinius. And I kind of wish I didn't.
Yeah, right. Because you could. This is like just a storytelling thing. Like you imagine things.
Have you all read the book, by the way?
We're
not going to do any spoilers right now, are we?
Everyone knows Sanguinius dies, the Emperor dies, Horus dies. They all die.
It is already spoiled.
But one of the most iconic paintings is spoiler.
But some of the nice things about the lore is I reckon this. And you go, but I reckon that would happen.
That's fun, right? It's fun to tell your friends.
Or I think this would be cool if that happened.
Yeah.
And I have my, wouldn't it be cool if Sanguinius or whatever XYZ. I won't actually say because I don't want to give any spoilers away of what really happened, right? And maybe there's you're looking for that twist at the end.
No, it's just so fun to speculate on things. Like before the Terminus decree was explained, I'm not going to act like I firsthand speculated, but I read after the fact that people would make theories about it because of course I'm not a Grey Knights fan, so I wouldn't really talk about it too much. But just the theories oh, maybe it's a virus that kills all the Space Marines. Maybe it's the false under Terra, and it's we're about to die, but a bunch of monsters at you, you know? I just thought, like, the idea that could be literally any of those, and you could, like, feasibly, like, that's your headcanon, that's what it is to you. I think that's so fun, and Warhammer is an inherently creative hobby. Like, the setting is there for you to tell your stories. So having mystery is almost essential, because, like, if everything was explained, it's like, well, yeah, I guess I'm happy now, because, I know everything, but it's like, you can't really make more, you know?
No, that's it. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I had a lot
Devin,
of fun.
thank you
Thank
so
Stephen.
much. Thank you for being a wonderful audience.
Yeah, thanks to everyone for the cool questions and watching my stuff.
And thank you to also Frontline Gaming and having us here, putting this show on, because they really didn't have to do that. So it's amazing to be given the stage to do this. So if we could give Frontline Gaming a round of applause, that'd be awesome.
Woo!
Devin, a round of
Give
applause
Stephen
for
a
you.
round of applause. He's a cool guy.
But guys, thank you so much. Where can people find you?
Most of my YouTube channel, it's just called Krakduk, like crack grenade and then DUK, because it's more fun to misspell things, you know?
Love it.
But yeah, I mean, I have an Instagram that you linked on the thing, but like, it's honestly defunct. I don't post on there. But yeah, if you guys want to subscribe, now that you're here, you're obligated to subscribe. I will check my sub count and see how much it went by. There's
200 here, right? 200,
200? Okay,
200
yeah.
people right here, yeah.
No, this is a full house. Oh, yeah, I got to account for the people who aren't already subscribed. Raise your hand, in fact. Okay, I'm yelling at everyone who didn't raise their hand.
I'm in. Well, Krakduk, thank you so
All right,
much.
yeah, thanks for having me. I had a lot of fun.
We'll see you guys back. We've got Caleb Wisenbeck, and Caleb, he's an Army painter. He's on here at 3 o'clock, and if you want to know anything about the painting and hobby, he is one of the most wonderful teachers ever. So
awesome.
That's 3 o'clock happening here.
I'll have to break my way in here.
Awesome, sounds good. Well, have a great weekend, guys. Thanks so much.
Thank you, everyone.